Oh wow. The Cowboys are hiring Brian Schottenheimer as the head coach of the team. It never fails, bro. It never fails. The Cowboys don't disappoint you in the playoffs. They're going to disappoint you in another way. Simple as that. I mean, at this rate, if you were going to hire this guy, you were better off just giving Mike McCarthy what he wanted. Like, what was the point of this? Like, what was the point of this? There were like 5, maybe even more than this head coaches that you could have hired over this guy. Like, it's laughable. It really is. Nah, you guys thought you were gonna get prime time. You weren't gonna get prime time. Here's the thing. Prime time is not gonna work with the Cowboys because that's like two egos clashing. Jerry Jones wants to run his team one way, and then obviously primetime wants to run his team one way. So obviously that way ain't gonna work. So you go out and hire a guy who is basically gonna be a yes sir type of guy. And that is exactly what Brian Schottenheimer is. A guy who's gonna say yes sir to everything Jerry Jones does. I mean, I really don't understand. Even while Dak was healthy this season, the Cowboys offense was pretty mediocre to average at best. And they hired a guy who was responsible for their offense being mediocre, average at best. Like, I cannot wrap my mind around this hire. Like, at that point, you might as well keep Mike McCarthy. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm so serious. What other team was out here saying, let's hire Brian Schottenheimer as new head coach? And the Cowboys, they had other options. They had way better options than this. As I said before, a lot of guys don't want to work with Jerry Jones because Jerry Jones is going to be one of those guys that want his fingerprints all over everything. But the thing is, when you get a guy like Brian Schottenheimer, he's going to be one of Jerry Jones' puppets. So basically, if Jerry Jones wants his hands all over everything, Brian Schottenheimer is going to let him do that. And that is exactly why Jerry Jones liked this hire, because he wants input the way he wants it, and he doesn't want any other head coach having their input into anything. And that's exactly why Prime probably is not going to coach for this team anytime soon. Just lied. The Cowboys really didn't have a lot of head coaching candidates that wanted to coach for this team. I think I saw Deion Sanders was one, and let's be honest, he's not leaving Colorado anytime soon. Leslie Frazier was one. That's not really all that great. I think Rob Saleh was one. And then I saw Jason Witten, who has no head coaching experience whatsoever. That was also a candidate. So once again, another yes sir guy that's going to be for Jerry Jones if he would have got hired. And that's exactly what that hire is. Oh yeah, Kellen Moore was another guy. So once again, that pretty much proves it. Jerry Jones went out and interviewed all these guys who he can basically control. That's what it is. Kellen Moore would have been getting a guy he can control. Jason Witten would have been a guy he can control. Leslie Frazier would have been getting a guy he can control. The only guy out of these whole head coaching cycle that was up for the Cowboys head coaching spot that he probably would have been able to basically control was Deion Sanders. That's probably why he didn't get a lot of looks other than that conversation they had. But Brian Schottenheimer, that's a guy he can control. Overall, this is just a really weird hire because Schottenheimer, like I said before, didn't really improve the Cowboys' offense, and they had a lot of talent. Even while Dak was healthy, they didn't do a lot. Their running game was atrocious. They went for averaging 29.6 points per game in 2023 to 20.6 points per game in 2024. So basically, it's like just a laughable hire. I'm just strolling on Twitter looking at Cowboys' reactions to this hire. I'm like, the Cowboys can never escape it. Either they're going to get disappointed in the playoffs, in the regular season, hyping up their team just for them to do nothing, or stuff like this is going to disappoint them. Here's the thing. If you ever want to be a head coach of the Cowboys, here's what you have to do. Be a yes man for Jerry. Let him control you, and you're good. You're probably going to be one of his top candidates. Don't believe me? Look at Schottenheimer. Meanwhile, the Saints are still looking for their head coach, and I'm wondering how long that's going to be. And as I already said before, nobody wants to coach for the Saints. Their situation is terrible. Look this time for the moment, though. This is just the Cowboys not having a plan because they didn't think Mike McCarthy was going to leave. And this is the result of what happens when you lowball a coach. And because they lowballed Mike McCarthy and didn't have a plan, basically they had to rush to a hire real quick because, let's be honest, all the other candidates like Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, they pretty much already had their minds set in a way of what teams they were going to go to. And basically because they already had all those interviews lined up, the Cowboys couldn't rush and go out and hire one of those guys. So because they didn't have a plan with Mike McCarthy, left, they kind of had to rush to this hire, and that's kind of what it is. So it's basically a result of them basically having to rush to a hire, and once again, a guy who's, once again, a yes man for Jerry Jones. But anyways, y'all let me know in the comments and below what you think about this hire. Like I said, I think it's laughable, but Mr. Cowboys, so they might end up surprising me, and that might end up being a good one. But I hope not, though, honestly. But who knows? But y'all let me know in the comments down below what y'all think about this hire. If y'all haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, tap the bell icon for future football content, and follow my social medias. And I'll see you guys in the next video.